guys, I'm Christina.
I'm Mandy.
And we are
Gals on Games.
So today we're going to be talking about our top 15 90s cartoons. Good list.
Very good list. They're going to be the cartoons that we watched growing up in the early to late 90s. Some of them might have been like the late 80s as well. But they're the ones that we watched growing up and absolutely loved and have great memories with.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be fun.
Number 15 on my list would be Hey Arnold.
Wow.
Something about that football-shaped head.
Yep. Yep.
And the weird silent love between Helga and Arnold.
Oh my god, yes.
I always wanted to see, like, are they gonna say something? Like, it's not until like the super end of the series that like she's like, yeah, so like I like you, and he's like, well, I like you too.
You're like, finally.
It's like finally you guys like each other this whole time.
Yeah.
But it was such a funny series with all the different scenarios that they went through as kids growing up together, and it's something that you enjoy because you were a kid growing up with friends just like that, right?
Number 15 on my list. Magic School Bus. If this isn't on like everyone's list, then we can't be friends.
No.
It's such a classic. You know you grew up with it. They played it in classrooms a lot to like learn because it's educational. So it was a lot of fun. Really fun series. Miss Frizzle, best character ever.
She's
best
amazing.
character. She's awesome. Awesome. And it was fun because it was educational and they would play it in classrooms. When you had a supply teacher and they came in, you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna play Magic School Bus.
It was Bill
today.
Nye the Science Guy,
Right.
or Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
That was what they played. Definitely.
times.
100% on that. Number 14. Rugrats.
Oh, I still have that, like, I can memorize the theme song. I have the theme
Dun,
song.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, you can still play it.
Yeah. I was not a fan of the All Growing Up when they did the Next Generation. But the adventures and the imagination these kids had was just like, oh, I want to see what happens next. You know, are they going to be able to make it out of the playpen? Like, it was awesome. And Reptar.
Yes, yeah.
Reptar has a special place in my heart.
And I remember them saying things that were, like, kind of relevant and adult for a toddler to say. Like, it's just funny to hear them say these things and you're like, yeah, that's true. Number 14 on my list, Cyber 6. Right? This was a good, like, also introduction to anime. It had very anime style.
Yes.
It was based off of a comic book, actually, and it was awesome. Kick-ass female lead. It was very progressive at the time as well because she disguised herself as a male teacher under Adrian, and then at night she was this like badass, like cool hero as Cyber 6. So it was just cool. The theme song, do you remember that?
Oh,
it was so good.
It was really good. Number 13. Goof Troop.
Oh yes.
I really enjoyed watching Goofy and his son, and the standard teenage issues that he had and that Goofy was trying to relate with and help him through. I really enjoyed watching it growing up.
It was a good like coming of age, growing up kind of cartoon. Number 13 on my list, Dexters Laboratory.
Oh, I love that one.
It's so good.
So good.
It goes along the lines of the shows that Cartoon Network came out with. They all kind of had the same animation style, but he was so funny, and his dynamic relationship with his sister was just so funny.
I love Dee Dee. She's so ditzy, but like I'm not ditzy at all. And I can just touch everything, and she's so elegant about it, but she's like, I'm just gonna touch this, and it's just like, and it just breaks.
If something explodes.
Yeah, something explodes.
Yeah.
You know? She's like, oh, what does this do? What does that do? And it's just like bang, boom, and it's just like exploding.
Yeah.
It was great. My number 12, ScoobyDoo.
Yes.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Where are you? I love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. And even to this day, like I just watched the most recent movie that came out, the animation. It is adorable. I absolutely love Scooby-Doo. The way he talks and everything about the way they go and solve their mysteries and the comedy between everybody. It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
And I really liked when they crossed over different shows.
Yeah.
Or like had like guest appearances, like we had the movie with Kiss in it.
I like the group, the dynamic with like the friends and the, I don't know, it was funny. It was like a good comedy funny, and it had a little bit of like mystery suspense in it because of like they're solving mysteries of ghosts and stuff. Like it was cool. My number 12, Beetlejuice, the animated series.
I love Beetlejuice.
Same. I love Tim Burton and creepy things and horror and all that stuff. And I love the movie, the live action movie with Michael Keaton.
Oh,
so good.
So good.
I hope they make the second one. I know there's rumors here and there.
There's been for years.
I know.
I just they do.
But then the animated series came out too, and it's so good. It's so good. One of my favorite things too is having a goth representative girl, Lydia, take over was awesome.
Number 11, Looney Tunes.
Classic.
Absolute classic.
Yep.
Who doesn't love Bugs Bunny?
Yep.
You know, Elmer Fudd chasing bugs around the forest, you know, and the dog that couldn't see with the coyote,
yep,
and they had to clock in and clock out. Oh, bye Fred, bye girl. I love that one. That was my favorite.
Good. Looney Tunes was the start of the Saturday morning cartoon lineup. You woke up, you had your cereal, and it was Looney Tunes first.
Yeah.
Like,
out of everything.
Yeah, that was it as a kid. Number 11 on my list, kind of going in theme with number 12 of my list, is the Addams Family animated series.
So cute.
Again, I love creepy things, and the Addams Family, even from the 50s when it came out, was a great show in black and white. They redid it in a Canadian version, then they redid movies, and then they did the animated series. Like, it's so good.
We went to the theaters to watch the newest animated movie, and it was really good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Really enjoyed it.
As long as they keep making Addams Family things, I will go watch it. Always.
100%.
I love that family. Like, just creepy and gothic, but funny and silly. Like, it's just perfect. Morticia's like the epitome of like sexy goth woman.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
My number 10, The Tick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Something about him, it was so stupid. Absolutely. Like, a tick is like this big, but he's this like ginormous, bulky man.
Yep.
In a blue spandex suit. And his sidekick's a moth. It's just the stupidest characters you could pick, but the comedy in that series was like divine.
Yep. Number 10 on my list, the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. Again, Cartoon Network, killing it with their cartoons. So good. I was, in the easiest way to say it, obsessed with that show. We had a project in school where we had to write our own story and create our own like picture book and create our own like unique version of something, and instantly I was like, I'm gonna make my own episode of the Powerpuff Girls. And I did. I fully had a pop-out book of Powerpuff Girls like episode that I made myself. Aww. That wasn't written by any, like it wasn't an episode or anything.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I was like obsessed with them. So cute.
And Mojo Jojo. Number 9. Real monsters. That's what it's called. But it was literally about a group of monsters that lived in like the sewer under like a school, and like one of them was like an umbrella like handle, like she was just like this thing and she had like just eyes.
Weird.
And like one of them had like, he was just like a mouth with a body, and he held his eyes like above his head. And like one looked like a gremlin.
That's funny.
So, and like they had to like figure out what was going on, and there was like conflict, and they were trying to like sneak into like the regular world to like scare people. Like that was like their job. It was a really cute series.
Number 9 on my list, Daria. Now, I didn't watch this, to be fair, until I was a little bit older. I know that it came out in the 90s. I do remember watching a few episodes here and there, but it was like a little bit too adult for me until I got like maybe 2-3 years after that and then watched it, and it was such a good series. Daria doesn't give a crap about anything, and she's so sarcastic, and the humor is so sarcastic. It's very dry, but it's really funny.
Number 8. Biker Mice from Mars.
Yes. Yep, I remember that.
That was an amazing series. It's literally exactly what's in the title. They were biker mice from Mars.
Yeah.
And they came down to Earth to protect it from mutated villains that were from also Mars.
Number 8 on my list is Spider-Man, the Fox Network Spider-Man. Now, I know that there's a million Spider-Man shows, but for some reason that one really sticks out to me. It was around the same time that the X-Men cartoon was out. That version, to me, had the best Peter Parker. They also had the amazing villains that we're all used to with Spider-Man, and it was a good introduction to all the villains that they had in the series.
I think it was a good one to start with if you didn't really know the series,
Yeah.
too, because it really explained
Yeah.
stuff. Number 7, one that a lot of people still don't also know about, Monster Ranchers.
Yeah, I've never heard about that.
So it was kind of like Digimon, but it was slightly different. They would go on adventures to find these discs in this world that was kind of like post-apocalyptic. So it's like war had already happened and like things are now overgrown and retaken. So they're finding these ancient discs and they activate them and like a monster comes out of it.
Whoa!
But the monsters can like talk and they interact with the characters. So they're trying to find this like ancient monster that's trapped in a disc. Like that's the whole thing about it's like some monster that will like help save the world.
That's
So
really
and then this kid who's going on this adventure with this other girl was taken from the real world to this world. So it's kind of like Digimon where you get sucked in.
Number 7 on my list, one of my favorite shows still to this day, Animatics. Now, this is a favorite of mine even to this day because of the fact that it was super adult. It is super adult, but you didn't know that as a kid, so it was still entertaining to watch as a kid. It's even more entertaining to watch as an adult. Yeah, some of the humor, I cannot believe my parents let me get away with watching it at all. Like, some of the humor and the jokes are very sexually driven, very adult. I mean, it's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's a really funny series.
I can never get over the song with the countries.
Oh, yes! And he was like, and he's like listing them all.
And I watched a video of the guy who does his voice doing that song. He's like, I actually just sat down, I wrote out the song, and he sang the song.
Wow.
And he's like, I can do it now, like no problem. But that day when we were recording it, it was like the hardest thing to do.
Oh, I bet. Dude, who can do that? Like, that's hard.
Yeah. Number 6. I'm so excited about number 6. Johnny Bravo.
Oh my, you love Johnny
I
Bravo.
love Johnny Bravo. And his hoo-ha-hee. Don't comb my hair. I love Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
He was the best. Like,
So funny.
so funny, and he just always got kicked down by every girl he approached.
My number 6, and I know you're gonna agree with this, Beast Wars. Now, I've been a fan of Transformers my whole life. I have pictures of my Barbie marrying Optimus Prime because I did not have a Ken doll growing up. So I set up all my teddy bears to have a wedding between them. So I was already obsessed with Transformers, and then Beast Wars came out, which took it to a whole different level. They were amazing characters.
I really liked the animation and the story.
Yep. They had great characters. It was cool to see a different version of them coming from vehicles and like weapons and stuff to animals. And it was a different animation. It was very computer CG heavy based, and it was cool to see at the time because it was different.
It was so good.
I don't know why, but Rat Trap was one of my favorites because he was like the underdog and the really annoying. Like, he was the comedy relief.
Yeah.
He was like, hey guys, let's do this. Hey guys, what about me? Like,
I love
he was
Cheetor.
really funny. Yeah, Cheetor was like the hero of everybody, but Rat Trap was just like funny, and people like pushed him to the side all the time.
Yeah. Number 5, Mummy's Alive.
Oh my god, I love the show.
Absolutely love that show. Where this random kid finds an artifact that makes him the new prince, and the mummies come back to life to protect him. And then they become like Power Rangers, and they're like, need to transform to protect the prince, and they get like armor going on.
They were such cool characters.
They were amazing characters.
Mm-hmm. I remember they had the one female too. She was really badass in that. Like, it was awesome. Number 5 on my list, and I know this is not on your list, is South Park. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I didn't watch South Park when it came out right away. The first 2 to 3 seasons was very like fart humor, and it was really dumb and dumbed down. But as the seasons progressed and I started watching it as the seasons went on, they started incorporating celebrities, what was happening in the news, stuff with like politics and music and actors, and each episode is actually written that week. So it wasn't, nothing is pre-done. They would wait to see what would happen in the world and incorporate that in the new episode.
That's pretty cool.
So once you learn that, and you learn that, I know Matt and Trey are the makers of it, I would love to meet them because I think they're geniuses.
It was such... I definitely like the way it played on the things that were going on in the world.
Yeah.
And I love the Canadians.
Yes, yes. Hey, guy.
Hey, guy. What's up, guy?
But yeah, I love the fact that they incorporated all this funny stuff, all the stuff that was going on in the world. Their humor, top notch. So sarcastic, so on point. If you get an actor angry by making a cartoon version of themselves, you're doing something right.
Exactly. Number 4. One of the best series from the 80s and continuing to this day, Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, it just goes on and on and on and on.
It's like a never-ending anime.
It is never ending. They have movies, and Dragon Ball growing up, I remember watching it with my brother, and you know, because we had VHS at that time. I would have to sit in front of the TV, and when the commercial came on, I had to pause it, so it would record the episode. So then you wouldn't want to record the commercial, so you would pause it when the commercial stopped, and then
play it back.
And you'd wait, and you're like, is the commercial done? Is the commercial done? Can I press record again? Can I press record again? So we could watch them later.
Yeah.
I really liked the original ones when Goku was little.
Yep.
And Bulma is so adorable.
Oh god, Bulma was my favorite.
She's my absolute favorite.
Oh.
Like, I love her.
Yeah.
She's so badass, and it's just like, nothing can really like stop her from doing what she wants to do when she sets her mind to it.
And she, like, for the longest time, other than like Chi-Chi, she was one of the main females for a long time in a very male-driven anime, but I mean, we love the guy characters, but it was cool to see that one badass chick, you know what I mean? She didn't take crap from anybody.
Exactly.
She didn't have any special powers, she couldn't do anything, but she was tough.
Yeah, you don't mess with Bulma.
No. Number 4 on my list, also probably on yours, Card Captors.
Yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, that like pulls at my heartstrings. It was such a fun, girly anime, but it was like magical. The story was so cool and unique. The characters are so cute. There's like this like majestic element to everything with the cards, and her guardian. Like, he's got such a crazy backstory. Like, it's such a good series. So good.
And the costume.
Right? And I love the friend who made all the costumes.
She's like, no, it's totally okay. Just try this one on.
Try this one on. You need this one for your next mission.
And just for some reason, it's like this costume just worked out perfectly for the card that she's going. Yeah, it was awesome.
Cute.
I love it.
I love that one.
Number 3, XMen.
Yes. Okay, you know what we gotta do. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-da. Most iconic theme song.
Yes, and you saw that come on. And it's on Netflix.
That's awesome.
The original one is on Netflix now, and I got so excited. Yeah. It's XMen! I love this show! Like,
so good.
I need to watch it. I was so excited that's on Netflix.
I rewatched it a couple years ago. I mean, I'd seen it a lot growing up, but then I didn't see it for the longest time. And then when I rewatched the whole series through, they introduce so many characters, not even X-Men, other Marvel characters. They do such a good job with this show.
So many.
So good. Number 3 on my list, Digimon.
Oh, I love Digimon.
Right? Now, this came at the time that Pokemon also came out, which was big, but I'm gonna pick Digimon for this because I was obsessed. And I remember, I think the 3 seasons that I did watch were all pretty different. There was like the kid version, and then they had a version where they grew up and added a few more characters, and then the 3rd one only had 3 main characters, which were different from the original characters. But all the Digimon themselves, their powers, what they evolved into was crazy.
It was really awesome.
It was such a cool concept for kids. You can get lost in the world of Digimon. It was crazy.
I had a couple of the Digivices.
Yeah.
And they were like Tamagotchis pretty much.
Yeah.
So you just have to take care of your Digimon that you picked on it. I really liked the movies. The
Yes.
movies are really
God,
good.
I love the movies.
I think Kari was my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. She had one of the best Digimon too.
Yeah.
Like,
Gatomon was amazing.
yeah. She evolved into like a sick ass Digimon too.
Yeah, Big Angel. It was great. My number 2, going on her number 3, is going to be Pokemon.
Oh, you gotta.
Growing up in the 90s, every day it was aired at like 3:30.
Yeah.
And school ended at 3. So you had to like bolt it home.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch Pokemon. Like I gotta go. So like every day after school, I watched the episode of Pokemon. It was so good, and to this day, I will watch Pokemon.
Same. One of my favorite things about Pokemon is Pokemon the first movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
I don't think I've ever cried so much in my life.
Did you see the remake?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we're watching that tonight.
I don't think I've ever cried so much in my life.
I bawled my eyes out.
That whole thing with Pikachu and Ash, I was like a kid bawling my eyes. To this day, I have a hard time watching it. Yeah, it's hard. Pikachu. So good.
I love you.
And this series, the show, brought out an empire of games, movies, merchandise, card game. Kids still play Pokemon cards now. It's crazy.
I remember going to, this is funny, I was going to get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards not that long ago. And so we went to a card shop before the COVID shut down. And in the card shop there was kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh! There was kids playing Pokemon cards.
I love that.
So, and they're, I'm gonna say about between 14 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that's a big range of age group, but there's a couple of groups of them and they're full out playing.
I love that that's still happening. Number 2 on my list, one of my top favorite shows still to this day. It's really hard to find merchandise and stuff for the show. Reboot.
Oh, I love Reboot.
I love Reboot. Oh. I know that there was a movie that came out, it was terrible. Every version of like an indie version that they've tried to come up with since then has been terrible. The original show was amazing. The concept of going into a mainframe and into the system of a computer, which at the time was fairly new.
Yeah.
No one knew what a computer could do or what it could do in the internet. Like, we were just starting to learn that kind of stuff.
I remember there was like a Christmas episode where they're singing or doing a play or something, and their play was 001110001.
Yeah, it's the coding.
And it's the coding, right?
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
Smart. It was a smart show for the time to explain the internet. The characters are awesome. The concept of when it was time to enter the game and rebooting into your outfit or costume or whatever you needed to do for the game was sick. Because awesome. You were like, oh my god, what are they going to do? They're going to slay dragons this time. They're going to ride motorcycles this time. Like, what's going to happen? It was super exciting. And in the second season, I don't think I've ever had a crush on anyone.
Bob.
Mm-mm.
No.
Enzo as a man. Because Enzo was a little boy and you're like, whatever. Enzo as a man was a hunkalicious.
I know. Bob got pretty hot too.
Yeah, he did. But he got all like, because he got lost in the web, so he came back all silver dreads and stuff. I remember that. He was sick.
That was pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
Absolutely favorite cartoon from the 90s growing up would have to be Gargoyle.
Oh, yes. Yes, I agree.
It was such a good series. The animation was great. The story was amazing.
Yeah.
And now they're in the talks of rebooting it. I really, really hope they do.
Yeah.
It was one of my absolute favorite cartoons to watch as a kid.
And number 1 on my list, Sailor Moon. Of course.
Of course.
It had to be. I was obsessed with Sailor Moon. I have a video of me and my friend Nancy full on doing our sailor transformations with a fake wand. It was a whole production we put on. Like, we were obsessed with it. I still honestly am. I see cosplayers and I still go crazy. I want pictures. Like, it's beautiful. It's such a good anime. Very female empowering. It was just like a fantasy world you live in, that you were a female warrior princess. You had all these friends to support you. It was very like friendship based. Yeah. And then she had the romance with Tuxedo Mask, and it was like about fairy tale and princesses on the moon, and it was like such a good story for young kids and young girls to grow up with. Yeah, I loved it.
I really love Sailor Moon as well growing up.
Also, I just found out that the 90s cartoon is on Crave. So you can watch it on Crave.
We really enjoyed sharing our top picks for the cartoons that helped us be the people we are today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Make sure you stay tuned for more upcoming videos. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.